Hey, brothers and sisters, welcome back to 4 Minute Church. If you've been following along, then you know that this week of Holy Week, we've been discussing each day the events that took place in Jesus' life that last week of his earthly existence, some 2,000 years ago. Today is Thursday, most commonly referred to as Maundy Thursday. Maundy is a corruption of the Latin mandatum, from what Jesus told his disciples, mandatum novum do vobis, a new commandment I give you. Jesus gave us a new commandment on that first Thursday. The disciples had gathered in the upper room for Passover meal, and as they all came in, they prepared to gather around the table. Now, we know that when we go to a restaurant today, and when we're allowed to go back to restaurants, you sit down at the table, and within moments, a waiter will come up and ask you, what can I get you to drink? Well, in Jesus' day, when you entered for a dinner, the first thing would happen is a slave would wash your feet. It's dusty, dirty. The roads in Palestine are full of dirt and mud, and so a slave, the lowest ranking slave in the house, this job was so menial a Jewish slave couldn't do it. A slave would take a bucket of warm water and wash the dirt off your feet. And so as these disciples come in and gather, first thing Jesus does is pour a basin of water, sit them down, and wash their feet, taking the place of the lowest slave in the household. And then Jesus tells them, this command I give to you, love as I have loved you. Jesus didn't just tell them that, he demonstrated it. Now, think about this for a moment. When that crowd of disciples came into the room that night, among them was Judas Iscariot, who Jesus knew was planning to betray him to the death. And he looked Judas in the eye, and he washed his feet. A new command I give you, that you love one another. I've given you an example as I have done. Now you go and do. The whole passage isn't about washing feet. Washing feet is a symbol for what Jesus is showing, that Christ wants servant leaders. Christ wants us to participate in the mandate that we love each other. He washed the one that would send him to the cross. He wants us simply to love those around us. Now, that doesn't mean we have to jump on a plane and fly to a leper colony or run to a mission project and build houses. It means simply that we are to love others as Christ loved us. Jesus knows at this moment that there's only a few hours left on this earth to teach his disciples, and so he must wrap up the most important things and give it to them right then. And the most important thing that Jesus could come up with to teach them is love one another as I've loved you. Love one another as I loved Judas and showed my love for him. Love those who I love, whose sin I am about to take upon me and die for, even though they may never come to accept me. That's our command, friends. Love one another. Love with agape love that wants the best and deepest and highest for the other person, even if it means sacrifice to us. And so, think of ways you can demonstrate that love to the least and the lost among us. So until next time, friends, the Lord bless and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. The Lord lift his countenance upon you and give you peace. Peace out, friends. Till next time.